Hi, good evening. Welcome to the Chat Club. My name is Beatrix and I will be your trainer and facilitator in the chat. Many of you know me because you have been my former student, so this is not the first program that you are participating in, but this is something brand new. So we are testing the waters together. Let's see some of the main instructions that you might be or you need to be familiar with if you want to take part in these activities. First and foremost, I will post a lesson, a very short lesson every day, most probably in the morning or sometimes the night before. I will try to make it very short, like under 5 minutes. It will be either a short video or a PDF, an image, but those of you who know me, you know that I often go overboard, so probably you will get both. So a short lesson with a grammatical structure, some nuanced, advanced vocabulary, collocations, something that I want you to use that day when you are producing a text. So this will be one thing you get, a short video or a lesson. And you will get one more thing, a task for that day, an activity. You have to use the grammar or the vocabulary you have learned while watching or reading the lesson. And you have to use that particular language element when you're producing a text. What do I mean by producing a text? Maybe I will ask you to write about something, like shortly, maybe to give your opinion or send a voice message about something. For tomorrow, this will be a specific and special introduction, so it will be a text message that I would like you to write. These messages or text doesn't have to be long, like 4, 5, 6 sentences. But you have to use the grammatical structure that I will set for you, especially for today, because this will be something grammar related. And then your job is not over here. So maybe you do that in the morning, you watch the lesson or you read the lesson, and then you do your task. But what this makes an interactive activity and a chat club that I want you to come back during the day and check what the others wrote, okay? And you have to react or reflect. There will be several people in the group. I don't want to make it a big group, neither a small one, because if there are too many people, then you might feel lost in the group. Or if there are only a few, and maybe some of you are not very active, then the chat will be dead. And I don't want that. I want this to be very active and interactive chat. So I want you to come back during the day and reflect on what others wrote. And while you are doing that, imagine this is a natural conversation. Okay, you will see, I don't want to give the example because I will have another video where I tell you what your task will be. But the task that I'm setting for tomorrow, this will be very relatable. So you can relate to other people, ask questions in the chat, and always try to use that particular lesson which was set and designed for that day, for today. Okay, so the point would be when you are answering your fellow member in the chat club, use advanced English. Before you write your sentence, stop for a brief second and maybe Google a more advanced alternative for that phrase. So spend some time with that. Okay. Let's see what else is important. Those of you who have already attended my speaking circles, this will be very similar because you will get a link to a Google Doc, and this will be a co-working space. So there is one more thing I want you to do every day. Write down 2 expressions that you've learned here in the chat, or why you were doing your lesson, and write those 2 expressions on the co-working space. You will see the link. This will be very clear. For every day, there will be a space where you can register the new expression. Expression, meaning, and example sentence. Okay, so it means that by the end of the challenge, like by September, you will have a whole long list of new expressions that we worked with in the summer. There will be also a table for me, so if I see something in the chat that might be useful to explore, or a typical mistake, I will not correct you in the chat, because that would kill everything, kill the natural flow of the conversation. But without names, I will start recording, tracking typical mistakes, or maybe not mistakes, something that was outstanding and excellent, but I just want to reflect on it. So every day I will also go to the co-working space. I will have a trainer's table, and I will reflect back on everything that happened in the chat on that day. Sometimes you will have, like every week, you will get quizzes, you will get online interactive activities, sometimes Kahoot, sometimes different interactive activities and apps, platforms where you need to answer questions and complete tests. So this will be also included on, I'm not saying on a daily, but probably several times a week. You will get tests to check what you have learned this week. But the whole point would be to read everything your peers, your fellow members wrote in the chat, come back, reflect, and have a conversation, okay? Ask questions from each other, okay? Try to engage, respond. So try to be as active as you can, okay? So I think that's it. Watch the next video, which will be your first lesson about cleft sentences, how to create emphasis, and how to use it when you're talking about yourself. See you later.